What is going on, guys? This video is going to be a little different from what I usually post, but don't worry that Shattered Veil guides are going to come out. Just haven't gotten around to it. So in this video, I'm just going to be showing me RGH'ing my Xbox 360, which a lot of people know as jailbreaking the console. But I thought it'd just be entertaining to watch and maybe you can learn something from it. I do make mistakes in the video, so for sure you're going to learn to not do something. I'm not going to be showing me doing the process of it because I don't have anything to hold my phone. You know, I'm a noob. I got nothing to hold it or anything to record it for me. So I'm just going to record like the aftermath of it. It's not going to be a voiceover. I talked in the video, something I don't usually do, but let me start the first clip, see where we're at.
All right, well, to get this started, obviously need my hardware tools. Got the Pico Flasher right here. The resistors, because the Trinity motherboards need these, so I've heard. Heat shrink, so I can connect the resistors to my wires. Flux paste, so I can, solder. And this is just for the flux. I'm gonna take this apart and come back. Okay, so far I taken basically the shell off. This was on the sides. This sticker is a warranty sticker, which obviously I avoided, don't matter. These are both sides in the Xbox where these are at. So this is on top of these little grates. So I took these off. Took off the front cover. Only had a cable, had a little tiny cable right there that connects to right there. That little thing right there. So this is I guess the front. I don't know. It was on top of this. It was on this side. The little shield. This is my fingerprints. God damn, I was touching up on this shit. There's the Xbox 360 logo, the fan, and then the back cover. So yeah, here's my screws that I had to take off for this shit, and then the Wi-Fi card. I only had one screw because it was over here. Yeah, right here, right there. So now I just gotta take out the internals and basically start soldering. I'll be right back. Okay, so I got everything taken apart. This is where it was in this shell. For sure gotta clean ice on that done. So here is the power button. Made sure to put the screws there. That's for the fan screws behind it. And this is the internal hard drive. It is a 4 GB hard drive. And now I just gotta take out the fan and then the soldering begins. Forgot to mention, this is the DVD drive. But yeah, now I'm gonna take this fan off and I guess show you guys the soldering. I'll be right back again. So a lot of people are scared to take that X clamp out. They're not scared, but there's like tools specifically for it. I mean, it was super easy. I just took this off in like 10 seconds. All you literally have to do is get any flathead or whatever, put it in the hole pause, and then push against the standoff, and that's gonna create force for this to pop off. Now when I did it the first time, it wasn't coming off, but it came out a little bit, so I was helping it, and it popped off. And then I just did it on the other side, popped this one off, and then since these two were loose, this was basically not that hard to take off. Just pulled it out, and now the X clamp is out and the CPU is free. Yeah, this is hard to do with one hand. There's a thermal paste. That's a lot of dry surfaces. That is not looking good. Same with the cooler. There's barely any thermal paste. Okay, so I cleaned as best I could. I used isopropyl alcohol. As soon as I touched it, literally the whole middle just disappeared, like no thermal paste. But yeah, so this had barely any thermal paste, and I'll make sure it gets the right amount. Okay, before I get soldering onto this board, I gotta obviously prep my wire. So I got my resistor here, got them cut up. Doesn't really matter how long the legs are at, and then I gotta get this wire. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna get this thing prepped. I gotta put flux on it, get some solder on the wire, and then solder it together. Be right back. Okay, I prepped the wire. Also, this is my first time doing this, especially with a resistor, not a transistor. See, I don't know my shit. There you go. Not the greatest, a big old blob right there, probably didn't need that much, but yeah, that's my work. And now I got to put a heat shrink on, cover the transistor with my blowgun. Pause, let me do that and I'll show you the result. So I gotta wait till my thing puts it all the way to max temperature. Okay, it just did. That was quick as hell. For the soldering gun, it takes forever. But anyways, let me readjust my hand. Oh my god, that's dangerous. Alright, so basically you just put the gun on the heat shrink. And it gets tighter. Pause. Alright, well that's pretty much it. So that's the wire prep. I just gotta put it on the motherboard. This is gonna take forever. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so I ended up finishing tinning, just putting solder on the points I need to hit. It does not look good, but hey, you know, need to hit this point. That one looks horrible. I'm so sorry, you have to see that. And then I hit this point right down here. Again, could look a little bit better. And then I also hit, where is it at? Right there, R3, R22. And now I gotta do the hardest one. It is called C5R35. So basically, do you see that hole right between R and 3? I have to scratch it off, that little hole. I have to scratch it off to expose the, I guess, the copper of the motherboard. But if I scrape that little line right there, this trace, the little light green one going down right here, if I scrape that off, yeah, this motherboard's dead. Gotta be careful because I'm gonna be going in with a knife. Wish me luck. I finally scratched it off. Man, you have no idea how hard it is to see it. Like my naked eye, I just literally can't. So I had to scrape right there. Now just imagine, my eyeballs are right here. You know how hard that is to see, bro? And like, I'm gonna zoom in. I'm gonna tell you how much zoom I'll put in. So this is at 3 times zoom already. This is at 9. You can still barely see it. You can kind of see it. There you go, 12. I'm at 12 now. So you see where I scratched it? It's like, you know, shiny right there. So I'm gonna put the X-Acto knife right next to it. Look how zoomed in I am. So I literally could not see this with my eye until I wiped off like the debris. Shit, like it's almost the size of the tip of this knife. I don't know, bro. This is like, that was the scariest thing I had to do because I couldn't see shit. But I did put tape over the trace of where I can accidentally scratch it. So now I just got to tin it and then connect the wires. I'll be right back. Okay, if you're a professional solderer, I suggest you to look away right now because I got some bad news. Well, one, my solder job was horrible. First off, accidentally pulled off the contact on the trace. I did use the alternative point. You can see I scraped it off. So hopefully that works. But yeah, I think what I did was I didn't let the solder heat up enough, I guess, and just pulled the contact out. It's really amateur hour.
So now I understand what fully happened, and yes, what I said was partially correct. The solder wasn't hot enough because I have a different type of solder and I set it for a setting for another type of solder, if you get what I mean. I have free lead solder and those typically are supposed to melt at a higher point, and I had it set at solder with lead in it, and those, you know, melt at a lower point. So I think I was like either 50 to 100 Celsius off, which is why it was like kind of hard to solder with it. And what ended up happening was when I put my iron to melt the solder and I let go of the iron and I pulled on the wire to see if it was like, I didn't pull hard, I pulled on the wire to see if it was stuck on it with the solder. I guess I pulled it on too quick, I don't know, because it just ended up just ripping it out, like the contact from the motherboard. Luckily there is alternative points, and luckily that trace that I broke, it was only to debug the Xbox, which I mean I don't really need. All right, back to the yak.
But this is my wiring pretty bad, I know. Oh yeah, instead of doing it by naked eye as I was before, I started using my magnifying glass. Totally forgot I could do, but kind of did help out a little bit. As you can see, it's, you know, way better than what I was doing, but I don't think I did that bad of a job on these 2 points. I don't know, I don't know. I gotta clean this flux off, but where it does say no clean, but this one looks bad. If it doesn't work, I think I know what solder point was it. So now, time for I guess the hard part for me, because I could even do 4 points. Now I gotta do 6. Yeah, I'll be right back. So that's my job. I'm way better when the contact is bigger, but as you can see, the second one on the bottom looks a little ill, right? But hopefully this will be all right. So now I'm gonna connect all these wires to the board. I gotta figure out which point goes to which wire.
Okay, here's a picture of the Pico Flasher connected to the motherboard, and then here's a close-up on the actual solder points itself. It looks all right. The bottom left one on the left side kind of took forever to stick to, but at least it worked. So
okay, so I got all the wires connected and I connected the Pico Flasher to my PC. I flashed it, and then now I just unplugged it, replugged it back in, and now it's being detected, and you can see it says Pico Flasher. So right now I just read the NAND. Now I'm gonna basically put the custom firmware on it. I will be right back once I finish that. Okay, so I already wrote to my Xbox the Zell, and I already got the CPU key. So all I gotta do now is just basically create. It says X build, and then right now, and I should be done with the jailbreak. After I'm done with that, I will start recording again. Be right back. Okay, so I got everything done now, writing stuff and all that other stuff. So now we're gonna test to see if it boots up. And it does, even with my horrible soldering skills. That's kind of insane, I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, I did not sign or boot into the modified firmware. I booted into the retail, which I have to power it off and then press the eject button instead of the power button. But I just wanted to make sure it booted, you know? I got a 5 GB hard drive. Yeah, there it is. You can see it right there. I got a hard drive because this was like, I think 18 bucks. Wasn't that much. SSD was like 30 bucks. I'm Mr. Krabs right now, so I gotta make sure I'm spending as little as possible. Yeah. Well, first, let me boot into the custom firmware. So to boot into, that's not safe. To boot into the custom firmware, it says I need to press the eject button, which turns it on, and it should say Zell reloaded and other shit just like that. Why is it farting? Okay, I don't know why it was farting, but since it showed the Zell reloaded, that means it's good now. Now I can desolder all of this. I'll be right back when everything's assembled. Okay, I cleaned everything, and now it's time to put this back together. Okay, I got everything back together. So now I just gotta add my hard drive in, right? But there you go. Now I just gotta add the hard drive in. Okay, the flat side is on top. Push it in. Now it's time to turn this on and format the hard drive. Okay, now that everything's connected and I hooked it up to the power, now I'm gonna turn it on. I already have the HDMI in there. Excuse the mess. I have a bunch of consoles, I know. And now I'm gonna boot this up. But first, okay, now let's turn it on. Don't like the red. It is what it is. Okay, I can't connect to the internet, but I am gonna do my display and all that stuff. Okay, and now I'm gonna format the hard drive. Okay, enter the serial number, and now it's formatting. Obviously, it's not gonna be a full 500 because that's what it always does. Anyways, yeah, now this is all set up. Also, I gotta connect because it came with it, and I can check it out, you know. I just did a full system update on this using a mod, and I also installed Aurora. So basically, I have everything set up. All I gotta do is just add my games, and that's it. Okay, now I'm just play the outro. But before I play the outro, I'm just gonna show the aftermath of me adding all the games. So right here you can see I added my music through a USB, and then these are just all the games that I have right here. I didn't get the games like the other Call of Duties because I already have a lot of them on my PC and on my PlayStation. As you can see here, I can change the updates of the game, so I can like play on a certain patch. I added all my DLC, so I basically have every DLC of every game. I can see the achievements from here. I don't show it in this video, but I did end up installing mod menus on games that have mod menus. Right here, I mean, I could just put some gameplay of me with the mod menus. Right here, I'm playing Call of Duty. Basically, just, you know, it's easy to input a mod menu cheat. Just gotta put a number, and then boom, it's activated, or you just deactivate it like that. But yeah, man, I mean, even Minecraft, I have like every single DLC, which is insane because Minecraft has like what, 50 DLC? I don't know, it's a lot. But with Minecraft, I don't show it in this video, so there's 75 updates, and obviously you just need the one for the 75th one. You don't need all 75 updates. But I was playing like an update 0, and I was like, holy shit, I don't remember this looking like ass because it was all Claydom. But yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed, and now I'm going to play the outro.